That's right, folks. It's another late night and time for another reach into the Just Giggle It grab bag. And tonight we're pulling out, oh boy, look at the size of this thing. It's a double dose. The double dose of seasonal cheer, one Christmas, one New Year's. What do you know? What do you say? It's politically correct Christmas party. And the reason we go home for the holidays. Boy, oh boy, what a lineup. So, first off, you don't. I'm sorry. So, first off, politically correct Christmas party is Just Giggle It sketch number 50, directed, written, and edited by the one and only Joshua Thomas.
This definitely feels like it has Joshua Thomas's stamp all over it, Dragon. And we've been kind of talking about kind of the auteur theory as it fits in with the rest of with the rest of the sketches. And, we have different directors and writers. Poncio's got his own style. Brian Wiley's got his own style. And Joshua Thomas is, it's another Joshua Thomas grand slam, as they like to say.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, Dragon, how the heck are you?
On the right side of the dirt.
Good, good. So, yes, we've been gone a while from the Just Giggle It grab bag. So, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to anyone who might be joining us either live or after the fact. This was kind of a very busy, hectic year for us in terms of I went on a week-long trip to Disney World, which kind of halted all production and essentially forced us to do basically 12 seasonal shenanigans in a row without doing a break for much else. So we're back. We wanted to make sure we got a Christmas special in for the Just Giggle It grab bag before we did anything else. Let's go. So, Dragon, it is a little after midnight on the East Coast. So if we're kind of following the mythology of Santa, it's like he could be out there, Dragon. You might want to be listening for for hooves on the roof or sleigh bells or steps going up and down the stairs, or I don't know. I'm trying to be all mythical about it, but I feel
the jolly laughter of Kurt Russell with Santa Claus. You never know.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at, essentially. Yes.
Yes. Also, just a few things here. It's been a while. Just because the knot has officially been tied. Congratulations before the year lets out to Piper Henson on her nuptials. Congrats there. She's a married woman now. Piper Henson. That's all we'll say about it. Congrats. Also, again, Mark Sipka. He's been his comedy special is on Amazon.
Oh, is it?
It was on Amazon Prime. I recommend it. I've watched it. Tiki and I may be covering it for a down the line on the grab bag. Not exactly sure how we're going to work that, but at some point we will cover that.
I'll definitely have to take a look, Dragon, for sure.
Yes, and Tiki, tell them about the other thing.
Okay, so the other thing, folks, if you want to add some holiday cheer into your life, if everyone has work off tomorrow, so if you want to just sit back and marathon something, why don't you marathon Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the real world? Now, folks, you got to know about this show if you don't already know. What it is it's essentially the best darn recreations of Harley Quinn and the Joker that you've ever seen all the live long day. But they're in a real world setting, Dragon. They're in the heart of LA. They're trying to make it as a single couple in a new environment, living with adorable roommate Addison, played by the incomparable Piper Henson. Many misadventures ensue, all leading up to episode 5. Now, episode 5, folks, this is the big one. This is the one where we have to really emphasize this is the one that's going to make or break the series, because we need to get episode 5 up to 1 million views. We need a Christmas miracle, folks, because the production is already very much on way for episode 6 and beyond, but they're waiting for that 100. They're waiting for that 1 million view mark. That 1 million view mark is basically going to be the bell ringing and Harley getting her wings. Every time we get 1 million views, a Harley gets her wings. That's essentially the situation here, Dragon, right?
Yes, and Poncio stays employed, and that's twice as important right there. We got to keep Poncio employed, boy. We got to keep that Poncio keeping everybody laughing and happy. But yes, I mean the plan is they're shooting episode 6 December this month. Now I'm assuming that that went forward, and in doing so, that means folks soon there'll be a point where it'll be in the can and waiting for us. And folks, it's so close you could taste it. You know, it's like get it to 1 million views, we can watch it, and we're gonna get more. And again, for all those people in the comments on episode 5 saying, "Where's the next? Where's the next?" We just told you and you want more, rewatch it, send it around, seasonal cheer, dash a Christmas miracle later. We'll have Harley Quinn the Joker versus the Real World, episode 6. But again, you don't get 6 without 5.
All right.
Right.
So
One,
we have a link to 5 in the video description, along with the 2 sketches we'll be talking about.
of course. Also, a little fun fact: the reason we went with 2 here is that we've already just Giggle It to date at the moment of this recording, I suppose. They've made 3 Christmas slash holiday sketches, 3 in total. We covered Krampus on Christmas in July, around Christmas in July. And now we're covering the other 2. We figured we'd do kind of like a little kind of sampling here. Again, one is directly a Christmas thing. The other one is kind of a New Year's thing. So you can kind of want to get that in before the year's out. So, yeah.
So we're just blowing through our options then, essentially, Dragon. We got nothing. We got a dry spell coming up for the upcoming holiday season in terms of the grab bag.
True, and we might take like a mini hiatus of some variety, basically kind of get our bearings in order, kind of plan set for the next kind of lineup and season and such. But believe me, folks, just giggle it. They're making a lot of new videos now, and those new videos are kind of debuting, kind of like boom, boom, boom at a time here. And like last new thing we covered was "You Don't Deserve This." So, folks, they got some good stuff coming. Who knows? Might be another Christmas one. It'd be hilarious if just like very unseasonably a Christmas one, like in July we had another Christmas one. Who knows?
If that happens, then they're throwing us a bone.
Sure. All right. So all that said, let's talk about politically correct Christmas party.
Oh man, Dragon, I gotta say, I love this type of humor where it's political without leaning one way, one direction or another. It's kind of like South Park style humor where it's sort of making fun of all sides. And I gotta say, man, I really respect that kind of stuff. And this is kind of the Joshua Thomas kind of boundary pushing that I'm talking about here that I love.
Now, 2 things. One, Luis Brooks is joining us in the comments. Luis Brooks, 1920, and very, very helpful comment here. Yes, 1 million views. We can do it. Smiley face. That's the spirit, Luis Brooks. You got it. Anyway, secondly, just wanted to shout out again. I tried to get some background on this, and I'm just kind of reading into it here. Given the thumbnail for the video is the red Starbucks cup. Tiki, I'm not a coffee guy at all. Do you know anything about the red Starbucks cup?
Oh, dude, sit right back and you'll hear a tail, Dragon.
Tell me a story by the fire, Tiki. Come on, I'm roasting a you.
Okay, so this was crazy. Yeah. So okay. Oh man, I almost feel like I'm not even really ready for this. This is like a benchmark moment in my podcasting career right here, Dragon. This is big, all right? Like this is my on record rant about the red Starbucks cups. Okay, so essentially, folks, what happened was one year, I believe the year was 2015, I want to say, Dragon, 2015. Starbucks decided, you know what? Instead of doing holiday cups where every year they'd have like a different holiday design, where they'd have like reindeer and wreaths, and I don't know, I didn't follow it. I assumed that kind of stuff would be on there, different colors, different patterns on their cups. Apparently it was a big deal. Like I said, Dragon, I'm not a coffee guy either, but apparently it was like kind of a collectible thing that people would get into. And so basically, to go with the whole unified, politically correct Christmas that we're going to talk about here, Starbucks decided to just have every cup red, just, like a kind of a generic holiday color. No design, no leaning one way or another in terms of actual holidays, just a blank red cup. And Dragon, people lost their shit. I mean, I thought it was kind of stupid, the red cup thing, but I didn't really care. It was a coffee cup. Who cares? Dragon, the thing that I found so funny was just the mass hysteria that it caused. And this is exactly why I think the sketch kind of nails the kind of the tension in the air over the PC nature of everything nowadays. And I gotta say, in 2018, it's even more relevant than ever now. Like, I feel like the Starbucks cup controversy was maybe like a big catalyst for the PC culture to come. It was kind of like a big, sort of a turning point, a lighthouse sort of beckoning us, like, okay, here's the trouble, like, come towards the trouble. I don't know. I don't want to get too political here, Dragon, but like I said, the Starbucks Red Cup thing, it was making a mountain out of nothing, right? It was making like, Starbucks, who knows if the decision was boneheaded or not. It certainly seemed like at the very least it wasn't great from a marketing point of view because it was making the cups less collectible, if I want to look at it that way. But by all intents and purposes, I just think the Red Cup controversy was just kind of just people freaking out over nothing, and it really caused like a chain reaction, I think. I really do think it's a catalyst for a lot of where PC culture's ended up. It's kind of weird how a Red Cup changed so much. Oh man, look into it sometime, Dragon. I'm sure it's a fun Wikipedia read.
Well, the interesting thing is that when this video came out, it was 2015 in December. So I wonder if it was.
Oh yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be.
A
Yeah.
very timely thing. Maybe
Like
one of those really timely. It's kind of like sort of a kind of a Quiet Place parody type situation, where it's like just came out
and
with.
it kind of veers more into my South Park of it all, where South Park, kind of has the tendency to take things that are very modern, happening in the moment and kind of attack all sides related to it equally and have fun with either side of the debate.
Right. So again, it feels. So again, not knowing the official kind of background, it feels very Joshua Thomas. Like just Joshua was kind of noticing little something with the Red Cup, and that kind of gave him the spark of the idea. Let's say something about this. Why does this really burn us up, but make it funny? And that's what we got here. All right. So we start the sketch. It starts up. It's a company meeting. It's a startup company. So let me rephrase that. We have a startup company having a little meeting around the holidays, and it's Joshua Thomas, Sipka, it's Poncio, Katie Garland, Jesse McBride, and Sager Shaik. And they're all gathered around.
Can I just say, like, this is kind of a Just Giggle It Avengers in terms of casting?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, so they're all gathered around, and we have Vlad being the Sipka character. It's Sipka doing a Russian accent, which is quite funny. So Vlad's going over the numbers. Says we're in black, which I looked this up to be sure. In the black means they're doing really good, pretty darn good. So they're all very happy about this anyway. So like the last new order of business is by Joshua Thomas's character Steve. Steve brings up the office Christmas party. Okay, you guys just want to talk about the office Christmas party here. Last year things got a little crazy, and then we go to Diane, played by Katie Garland. That Diane, you silly girl, and
Can you just unplug the copier before the party this time?
Katie Garland, she cracks me up so much, and this is good. Like I love how they slip in the comedy here, where she says this, and there's an intimation of I'll direct you folks to Scrooge without going into detail as to what might have happened, a certain scene in Scrooged, but you never know. The point is, she's just kind of rolling with that one there, and this is what cracks me up. There's like this great subtle gag where if you pay attention to Joshua Thomas, he says no, and then he just kind of moves on to what the next part of the scene is, basically saying no, we're leaving the copiers plugged in. That's kind of what he's saying there, which is kind of hilarious. So he's looking for something to make this the biggest party yet. So then
the biggest Christmas party ever.
Precisely. So then off to the side there we have Sager and Jesse McBride kind of having a little conversation. There's a hesitancy in the room, and it is explained by Sager and McBride here that They don't want to call it. They've been talking to people in the office, and they don't want to call it a Christmas party. Why is that?
Because some of them don't celebrate Christmas.
Yes. Well, some of them are. Yes. Some of them celebrate Christmas, and we have this great gag by McBride here who explains, they're not all, not everybody's Christian, which could be offensive. And then, of course, Jasmine's like, Jesus Christ. He says, see, you
I
shouldn't
love that
use.
delivery with Joshua Thomas, just very callously, just like Jesus Christ.
And McBride just have McBride was on fire during this
Oh,
thing, man. If
he
if
was.
they're the Avengers, McBride's either. I think McBride might be the Hulk. He's gonna.
Oh, Poncio's the Hulk. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Ponzi was kind of he's the secret. Yeah, Ponzi was like, what my secret is, Cap? I'm always angry. That's Ponzi in kind of a comedy to kind of action kind of comparison there. I guess. Well, I'm gonna give McBride major props. I'm gonna say he's the cap of the group in this case. I'm gonna give him that much.
All right.
I do enjoy me some Jesse McBride. I think he's hilarious. So McBride here, he kind of comes in for the kill here, where he says, "You shouldn't use the Lord's name in vain. Some of us are Christians. There's like the two thumbs, like kind of pointed, like who has two thumbs in Christian? This guy. It's like one of those things.
It's just kind of like a lose-lose situation, basically.
Exactly. So then he makes the direct comparison. It's like the Starbucks red cups. We want to send that's sending the right message." And Joshua Thomas again. This seems like kind of like almost like a glimpse, like a little heightened sketch in itself, like Joshua Thomas echoing. No one likes the red cups. Like no one likes his red cups. You want to have a red party, and Vlad likes this idea. And
Vlad loves the idea.
and I just love how Steve here snaps at Vlad. So we're not having a red party, Vlad. So then, of course, Sipka as our Russian guy here. He's just very suspiciously taking notes, and you have no idea what they say, but he's very suspiciously taking notes. So again, here we have the genesis of what the whole thing's about comedically here. So again, it's the age-old thing. This is an age-old thing, even beyond the solo cups. I'm sorry, beyond the red cups. Beyond the red cups is like a very kind of like very public kind of visual for this debate, and that's why it was kind of brought up here directly, but. It's classic. It's the old classic PC debate of like, we can't say Christmas these days or Merry Christmas. We got to say Happy Holidays, and you get it to an extent, but people go overboard with like now we're kind of erasing Christmas, and I don't know. Sometimes it gets overblown, sometimes not. Sometimes it can be really funny, and that's what we're doing here. We're kind of raising the debate here in a very comedic fashion. So Joshua Thomas here is just he's kind of Steve. He's like kind of shrugging it off, like, okay, no big deal. We'll call it a holiday party. Which again, ordinarily you think holiday party, sketch is over. Boom, solution. Thankfully, Just Giggle It, as we know and love them to do, they dial it up to 11 progressively as the thing goes on. Like, nope, we're not ending it there. We're ripping the knob off. So holiday party. Then we learn that there are Jehovah's Witnesses working in the office,
including Alex Poncio. I just love the idea that Poncio is a Jehovah's Witness. Like,
are you sure?
Well,
I missed out on that. Are you sure he's a Jehovah's Witness?
I'm pretty sure that it pans to him when they say there's Jehovah's Witnesses.
Well, I think it brought up. I don't think that means he is one, but I don't know. Maybe I missed something.
I could be wrong, but I don't know. And also the way he's dressed.
Well, I think we've seen Ponce play a Mormon before on the Mormon sketch. So I mean, it's like Ponce being kind of our alternative religion guy. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's not out of the realm of possibility for what we've seen him play in the past.
You never know. Anyway, well, I didn't pick up on that, but it's fair. Maybe you saw something even funnier that I didn't. Anyway, so okay, then they write out, okay, fine, an end of the year party, and then Diane points out that some people follow the Chinese calendar, which means they follow the Chinese calendar to be inaccurate because it goes on. The year doesn't end until a point in the following year.
All right, you know what? A winter party then. We'll call it a winter party.
Now, here's the thing. So I love how they wrote themselves out. See, winter party is actually the solution. Winter party is the direct solution because there's nothing wrong with winter. And then I just loving the structure here. Okay, winter party literally solves all our problems. We have to come up with something to kind of jazz that up and make it a non-starter solution.
Just kicking it up to 11. It's the kicking it up a notch. It's the BAM.
Yes. So Poncio, as I personally, I don't know what I don't know what the ranks are in this startup company. I assume Poncio is like a manager. He's the point is he's in charge of the employees. So either he's a manager or he's in charge of employee relations, like an HR guy. I don't know. So Poncio off to the side says, "I don't think John and I just love the severity." And this is Poncio. I don't know if Poncio just kind of went off like kind of a take on this scene. It was just like perfect comedic instincts or what? Because it's just really funny. I love how sensitive he is throughout all this. I don't think John in sales will appreciate that. And we have a Jon Snow gag now. Let's preface this by saying Tiki and I know absolutely like we know zero to nothing.
I know like maybe 5% of everything there is to know about Game of Thrones, and that's being generous.
I know maybe 2-3% maybe.
I mean, I know enough to know who Jon Snow is and what the winter is coming line means. So it's like, in Captain America terms, I understood this reference.
I know. Look, all I really know about Game of Thrones, I can count on one hand, folks. I mean, I know a few of the actors. I don't. I know a few of the actors. I mainly know what else they're in because the age-old gag in Hollywood is that almost everyone you see is from Game of Thrones in Hollywood these days. Like everybody's been on Game of Thrones. The bad guy from Deadpool, Ed Skrein, been in Game of Thrones. Amelia Clark, Game of Thrones.
Jason Momoa.
Was he in Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Well, there you go, Game of Thrones. Everybody. Everybody.
Peter Dinklage, of course.
Of course, there's a biggie. Yep. Remember the time? Here's the thing. It was so funny. For years, Peter Dinklage was mainly known for his role in Elf, and now it's Game of Thrones. Anyway. So yeah, the point is, like, we know very little to nothing about Game of Thrones. We know like the bare surface minimum. Like I know, okay, the Mother of Dragons. You got Mother. The point is again, Mother of Dragons. There's like this red wedding that's very violent that I see homaged in many other things.
Yeah.
That's about it. And apparently, I know winter's a big thing. I know the advertising on winter and everything. I know that much, and that's basically that's relevant to here.
I know who Jon Snow is, and I know stuff that I won't bore you with about Jon Snow. He's a very relevant character to the whole saga.
All I know is his actors in How to Train Your Dragon, so that's pretty much all. He's Eric, son of Erickson. That guy. Anyway, so so Jon Snow. I just love Jon Snow. Basically in the Jon Snow outfit, but with a tie. I just love that. Jon Snow kind of wanders in there, and he's
I feel like this is a really good kind of like I'm trying to think of like a good comparison point, but it's it's a good parody where it's like it's clearly just a pop culture reference for a sake of a pop culture reference. Like early Family Guy, it's like it's got kind of Family Guy cutaway gag quality to it, but in the early years.
Sure. So Jon Snow walks in and he says, "Did someone say winter is coming?" I just love how defeated the idea is like Ponch is constantly dealing with this guy and his obsession with winter coming. And he just says, "No, John, nobody said that." Now back to the phones. Thank you. Winter is coming. We know that, John. It's December. And the group, I love how the group like kind of thanks John. Like they're all to want to get on John's bad side because I presume they've seen Game of Thrones in this pocket comedy universe, I guess. So they all
right.
The point is, they'll know like it basically is possibly Game of Thrones.
Kind of like a Chad Vader situation going on, maybe.
Pretty much, and oh boy, Chad Vader's a rock. The first season's the best out of all of them, but yeah, Chad Vader's cool. Anyway, I'm sorry, getting off topic with Chad Vader. So they all thank John. Like, thanks, John. And he walks off to be called on yet again later on. So then then they're going with cold party. So they're thinking about going with how about a cold party? Then we have a cold water party. I like this. So Vlad's digging the cold water party.
Vlad just ruins everything, man.
Look, so this kills me here. This is where Jesse McBride just kind of steals my heart. You're like, oh, Jesse McBride, you comedy genius, you. Or he and Sipka, they're a great tag team. Where Vlad, they kill. I'm sorry, just the delivery. Like delivery can just sell a joke even better than it is on paper. And to me, what McBride does here is just the delivery is what sells us. Where McBride says, Vlad, we didn't say it was a cold war party. And then he has this great line. This is the one that kills me even more. Where he looks at he writes something down. He says, "Why is my name there?" You're safe. Don't worry. You're safe. Though I love how one, it's funny, and two, it's all. I love the kindness within. It's like, hey, don't worry, you're gonna be fine. It's like something really reassuring and all that. All right, so then let's see. Sager here, he's saying, look, we live in LA. It doesn't even get cold here. We can't use cold party. So even despite this Cold War gig, nope, can't use cold either. So fine, a company party. Then Diane here, Diane saying, then what would the theme be? Now this to me feels like kind of a heightened thing where I feel it's a running gag about Joshua Thomas kind of snapping at Katie Garland, just having it's basically like the age old joke about '60s Batman, where Batman, if you ever look at the Adam West Batman, he can't stand Chief O'Hara. If you look at '60s Batman, that's kind of the dynamic that Joshua Thomas has with Katie Garland and all these sketches, specifically the heightened related ones. I feel they're kind of dipping into that here because then Steve snaps at Diane here, saying, "Oh, I don't know, Diane. I'm sure you'll find a reason to get drunk no matter what the theme is." And then Ponce's going with, "God, Steve," and then McBride just comes in with the kill here, says, "Now, which God are you referring to?" And again, this is the crescendo of the premise that we've laid out here. We're okay. We've ripped the knob. That's the pop sound when the knob rips off. Like, thanks to McBride. And then Steve comes in for the kill. You want to take the punchline here, Steve?
I'm sorry, what?
Joshua Thomas says, "You want to take us through what happens next year?" So McBride says, "What God are you referring to?" And that's at Steve's head. So what does Steve do?
Okay, he basically says, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, I tell you what,
You politically correct people are ruining everything.
yeah. So, you're offended by Merry Christmas? If I want to say Merry Christmas, just don't say Merry Christmas back. Simple as that. And no party, no bonuses.
Can't please everybody.
That puts an air of silence in the room. That makes everyone kind of go numb for just a second. There's an air of tension, and then it just releases. What happens?
We have some great holiday music in the background as everybody perks up, and they're all see everybody. Here's the moral of it. The big punchline of all is that everybody loves money. So whatever we call it, just as long as we get our Christmas bonuses, we can't get bogged down in semantics. So long as we get our Christmas bonus, is we could have a holiday party. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody. Santa Claus is coming to town, baby. Feliz Navidad. And I'll get Diane's coming up with like I'll get crazy at any party. So then everything looks like it's going great. And then Courtney Coleman interrupts here with Jon Snow's memo.
Oh God, which, as you can see on the thumbnail we have here, just says ominously, "Winter is coming."
And I love it. It pans to Ponce, and you see Ponce is peeved like the minute he sees this winter is coming. And Ponce gets up and he's like, when I tell you not to do something, don't do it." Then we have a little like subscribe tag with Joshua. I gotta tell you, I wish he'd bring this one back more because this one was really funny. Where he says, "Ha ha ha, wasn't that funny?" I don't know. It just feels really kind of funny. Like, I wish all the subscriber tags could end with him doing that. I thought that was funny. Also, he says kept breaking the
fourth for those tags. I'd say that or upside down Poncio, maybe rotate between the two of them.
Pretty much. And also then he has this great because basically the layout on these videos are always changed over the years, like where the boxes are for when you click on the other videos and everything. And he says, maybe there's something over there. Just kind of guessing where it's going to be. So that was quite funny. All right, so how do you feel about it? Do you want to say final thoughts for the very end? Do you want to break it up here?
I can do final thoughts for this now. Dragon, I think this is very clever and really on point, especially for the time it was made in. I feel like it really had its finger on the pulse of a controversy that was very much kind of like watching from the sidelines, watching see unfold. And, suffice to say, I thought it was just as ridiculous as Joshua Thomas thought it was. So it's very validating to get something like this, and it's I feel like it handled the subject about as well as it could have. It's a nice it's a cynical Christmas special with a good message at the heart of it.
Yeah, I think it's very smart comedy. It's a relatable dilemma of labeling the season, around again in these politically correct times with a smart satire on being politically correct. It's really I think it was great all around. It was really kind of a nice little seasonal perk up. I thought it was nice.
Uh-huh.
All right.
All right. What is the next one we're going to get into, Dragon?
All right, the next one is the reason we go home for the holidays. Just Googled sketch number 51. These were done back to back, again, kind of like a seasonal sort of thing when they came out in 2015. Directed, written, and edited by Joshua Thomas.
Oh boy. Okay. So this is Dragon, this is it's a much more simplistic. It's much more simplistic than the Christmas party one. It's basically just a wind up and a punchline. You know what I mean?
Best way I could describe this one. This is like an SNL commercial. We had the gag
Yeah,
commercial.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
In the best of ways, I use that comparison in the best of ways. Again, this is like a good version of like what I guess what current SNL is doing with those commercials. Like this is like far better. What is like a new gold standard? What they should be trying.
All right.
All right, so let's see. It's very simple, and this, on the whole, it feels like Joshua Thomas feeling his director oats. And again, I want to give credit where credit's due here. Again, he's using the Just Giggle kind of subversion at play here, but what he's doing is he's kind of lulling into a sense of security of like, man, this is just really kind of well shot and kind of compelling for a brief moment. Then, of course, and then the gag swoops in.
Mhm.
So Joshua Thomas, he's a boyfriend on a phone. He's just gonna call in I presume he's calling his girlfriend. It's around New Year's. It's like on New Year's Eve, I suppose. Well, it is on New Year's Eve. Yes. So he's calling his girlfriend around on New Year's Eve, and he's saying, I'm sorry. Visually, I want to point this out. The directorially wise, directing wise. I love how he's blended into the darkness. Did you notice this? I love how again he's wearing black and he's just kind of blending into the darkness outside. Looks really good. Whoa.
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. Like visually, it looks
Uh-huh.
great. And he was just,
Nice,
oh,
nice.
I wish I could be there to kiss you at midnight too, babe. But I can't. I'm all the way over here. So then we reveal Piper Henson on the other end. Piper Henson's on the other end. She's got a Christmas tree and a couch and everything. Again, a good kind of use of it. Again, it's like it's a two set job, and we're doing a lot with that. The kind of like it's short of a split screen. That's kind of what we're doing here. It's like just kind of cutting between two places. But again, we're telling something narratively here. Well, I'll get into that in a second. So we have Piper Henson. She's inside by a Christmas tree, and saying, "Oh, it's not fair that we're both home for the holidays." Again, the namesake of the video kind of put into play here. Home for the holidays. And we
Hmm.
see Joshua Thomas outside of a house. Now, to me, and I could be wrong here, to me, the suggestion is this is supposed to be like an uplifting surprise. Like he's outside of her house about the surprise. And like, oh boy, it'll be all uplifting. Like his home is with her. Oh, ain't that cute? Um, Now, either way, you could just look at it that way, which I think is the intent, or you could look at it just, it's like a loving scene where, yeah, they're apart, but, he's just going somewhere, like going to his family's house or something. Either or could be good, but, it could be like, I can raise like some subversion, surprise sort of thing, like, oh, boy's going to surprise her, ain't that cute. But, let's see. So he says he'll fly into LA on the 3rd at noon, so we'll be home before you know it. I'll, I'll be there, love you too. Happy New Year, baby, that sort of thing. So then, uh, they do like the phone kissy noise, which is kind of cute. Let's see. So after that, now we have our punchline. We kind of deflate the sentiment here. Where this is my reaction to it. So what happened was So again, I'm thinking it's going to go the kind of the just like the nice schmaltzy route. Like, okay, well, it's going to look the comedy. I'm not expecting the comedy to hit me right here. I was expecting the door opens and it's Courtney Coleman yet again. Courtney Coleman there, and she kind of greets him at the door. And I'm for a moment, I'm thinking, oh, it's like his sister maybe or something, like someone welcoming him, or I don't know, like a cousin, I don't know, welcoming him. And then, oh yeah, you're gonna let's. Did I miss the ball drop? No, you didn't. Then of course they kissed. I'm thinking, oh no, it's adultery. Oh my, oh wow, it's adultery. What do you know? So, you want to take us through some of this? Well, Tiki. All right, let me just power on through here. So, even on the I'm sorry, even on the flip side, we're seeing an affair going on the flip side with Piper Henson, and the balls dropping about to be is counting down about to drop, which is really nice. Really nice parallel editing, how like the ball's about to drop again, like he's asking is the ball about to drop, then we see the ball like literally counting down, which is quite nice. So again, it's kind of syncing up the events. That's kind of what it's talking about in the directing, which was great. We have Ross Copeland on the couch. He says, "Oh man, I'm so glad we get to do this." So you reveal again they're kind of on even footing with the adultery. Um, they're about to basically kiss as the ball drops, and let's see. So then we have Jesse McBride as the ad man kind of come on. And this is where the SNL ad of it all kind of comes into play here, where he basically we cut between both kisses going on here, and we reveal what the sketch has been all about here. It's home for the holidays in a it's home for the holidays. Sorry about that. It's home for the holidays in sort of a kind of an airline commercial sort of way, like Fly Delta. Just like Fly Delta. When you go home for the holidays this year, to cheat on your current relationship with your ex, Fly Delta. In the show, the Delta Airlines is really
It's
really
just kind of
cool.
like the ultimate, just sort of like, punchline. It's quick, it pays off. It's just sort of like a big sort of middle finger to Delta. I don't know. It kind of makes there was like a controversy with Delta, like in some way, shape, or form. Like if this was topical, much like in the same way the Cup one was.
Yeah, it's sort of like it satirizes the non-related ads. Like so many times in advertising, is what SNL kind of made their money on in many respects with these commercials. Where it's like they had this sort of we always see these ads that have nothing to do with the products until like the very last second. That's kind of what they're doing here. Like all of this, you're watching kind of a romantic drama, and then we just cut to airlines that support adultery. Might be a message of irresponsibility in advertising. You never know.
Hmm.
All right.
All right.
So then the tag, Joshua Thomas is kissing Courtney Coleman, and we have a post-credit gag. It's really funny. You want to tell them about it?
I'm sorry.
Okay,
My my notes are a little vague on this last part, Dragon. I'm so sorry. I'm kind
we
of
have the,
dropped.
they have this funny thing where we have Piper Henson and the other man here, and this is so funny to me. The other man is asking how the boyfriend's doing in the other relationship. He says, "Oh, good, yeah, it's really good. Yeah, I just love it's so twisted when you think about it, but I love how pleasant the pleasantry in the adultery. It's so refreshing. It's like you're doing a bad thing, but you're asking how is the other guy? How is he doing? He's doing good. He's doing really good. It's like a thanks for asking sort of. I don't know. I thought it was really
It's almost
reverse.
like if like if a Big Bang Theory style sitcom were made about adultery, that's how the characters would act.
Yes, yeah. All right. Final thoughts on this one.
Final thoughts. I mean, it's fine. I don't like it as much as I like the Christmas party one. I think it's just kind of a nice sort of wind up and payoff. It's a warm up gag. You know what I mean? It's like it's not going to be the heavy hitter in a set, but it's going to get something. It's going to be something that gets the audience in the mood. So in that respect, I think it does its job and it does its job well. I just think out of the two this evening, the Christmas party one is by far my favorite of the two.
Sure, sure. Likewise, but this one it's an example of kind of the gift of Just Giggle. It's really well shot and leads to a really clever misdirect. It's got a good punchline. The thing's very well delivered. It's short, simple, and again, it's kind of a love letter to the SNL ads, which I think kind of put them to shame these days. But again, it kind of reminds me of like what was good about those. So again, really, really good stuff. Now, before we go here, I just want to also mention, without getting the specifics, Just Giggle. These posts so wonderful. We're getting to kind of getting to the end of the year, and Just Giggle, they've been really kind to us. They've been really receptive to us, kind of covering all this stuff in the grab bag and everything. So they sent the they kind of sent us a kind of a thank you that was really nice and really well appreciated. I won't go into that on air what it was, but it was very well appreciated. And Tiki and I are both very, very grateful. So thanks to Just Giggle It. But importantly, we just love this stuff. We love Harley Quinn, the Joker versus the real world. And again, these guys, folks, we don't talk them up because we have to or because we're obligated. We talk them up because they're that good and they really deserve more attention. We're just trying to shine a light on that. That's all we're trying to do here. So I just want to kind of say that.
I mean, I still stick by my claim that they are the best sketch comedy on YouTube, bar none.
Exactly. I second that opinion absolutely because Just Giggle, these are the travesty. More people aren't kind of addressing Just Giggle. I mean, they're I don't know, it's next level comedy, folks. We need stuff like this, and they keep on delivering. And we're lucky to have them. We don't deserve them, much like Ponce. We don't deserve them, but we're more than happy to have them and talk about them. And again, can't wait to see more from them. Okay. Anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
Right, that does it for now until our next reach into the Just Giggle It grab bag. Winter is coming.